Perfect. Okay. Hi, guys. So nice to see you. Thank you for coming tonight. I know that you've taken time out of your night to be here. And Karen and I are really excited to share with you some of our aha moments from our leadership retreat. And in all honesty, we can't wait to bring a lot of you guys with us there next year and the year after, because I know that is definitely going to happen. So that makes us really excited. We just kind of sat there and just like, oh my God, can you wait till they're here with us? Like, this is insane. Like, you literally walked into this hotel and you're like, I have a suite that will like a family of 4 can live in. It's insane. Like, you never stay in these places ever. It was like crazy.
Mind is blowing.
So they take very good care of you, and I can't wait for you guys to be there with us, because that will absolutely happen, and that's what's so cool about this business. So Karen's going to start, and she's going to give you a couple of her aha moments from our retreat.
Yeah, guys. So it really, really confirmed with me that I am so with the right company. Like, there's never been like a doubt in the back of my mind, but it just like, I got shivers and tingles, and I am like so in the right place at the right time. I am just so excited for what's to come. They are just such, like, Mark and Cindy are just such normal, humble people. They're just like, Mark is hilarious. Like, he had me cracking up the whole time, but like, when he's just so approachable, like when we sat with him for dinner with Cindy, and it just makes me feel really, really good about where we're all heading as a team. And I remember you said this last year, Christina, when you got back from Spain, you were just like, it just makes me feel like really, really good about the company, and that we're in safe hands and it's not going to like crumble or anything like that. We've got some really good people working for the company. They kept talking about personal development. Like, this come up, I think this whole leadership thing was really focused on personal development. There's a few books here that I'll type it in the comment section so that you girls can look up afterwards. There's 5 books that Cami Pentecost really recommended. She just talked about like personal development every single day. She doesn't like leave the house until she does 30 minutes of personal development. You got to continually grow yourself as a leader and keep stepping into that role. But they really asked a good exercise for us, was like, who is your top 5? Like, who do you spend most of your time with? And like, write it down on a piece of paper. And then you guys should do this exercise like after the Zoom tonight. Christina, was like, your top 5, and then do they make more money than you? Yes or no? So tick, was it a tick for a yes? And
a plus or a minus?
Yeah,
so
plus or a minus. And do they make you feel good like when you're around them, or do they leave you feeling like, ugh, crappy, like down, low energy? So plus or minus for that. And do you remember the last one, Christina?
Yeah. So so what you just said, right? Do they inspire you or do they exhaust you? One of the two. Are they a glass half full or half empty kind of person? And do they believe in you? Do they absolutely wholeheartedly believe in you and push you to your goals? And this is a weird one. So are they a truth talker, or do they always praise you? So it's actually opposite to what you think it'll be. If they are somebody that calls you on your stuff and says, I want to help you be better, or this is what we need to change, they're a truth talker and they get a plus. But if they are always praising you, everything's great, da 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 da, and never give you constructive criticism, that's a minus.
Yeah. I love this exercise. And they're just like, don't be afraid to let go of people that are no longer serving you. Like, if they're constantly bringing you down. No, Sam, this could be like a best friend that's not in the business. It could be like your auntie.
Top 5 people you spend all of your time with. The closest people to you. Your partner, your best friend, your mom, your aunt, whoever they are. And if they have any more than 2 minuses beside them, it's time to friend up and change that inner circle, because you're not going to get any higher of your vibration if you stay comfortable with people that will keep you here or keep dragging you down.
Yeah, so Christina was on my list, and so was my husband Blaine, because Blaine's always like, you're not getting enough sleep. You are burning yourself to the ground. Like, so that's constructive criticism. Like he's caring about me. But Tony Robbins got a little mention on that piece of paper for me. So he was one of the persons, like, I listen to him all the time, right? So he makes me feel good, encouraging. I don't personally know him on a personal level, but again, I listen to him, quite a few times a week. But like, same with my best friend, like of 14 years, we drifted apart last year. I outgrew her. I was doing so much personal development and she wasn't okay with that.
She was uncomfortable.
She was not moving forward with me and growing, and she just couldn't handle it. So she lost it on me, and we're no longer friends, but that's okay because I've grown, I've learned, and I've made room for positive, inspiring people that, are not better than me, but like make me aim to go higher and reach higher and believe that I can do this. Do you know what I mean? So that was a great exercise for me that I really liked. Continually set goals for yourself so that you don't get stuck. I know a lot of top income earners, they get to that rank and then they're just like, oh, kind of what's next? And they don't continually just set goals for themselves, even if it's just little goals. You always want to be pushing and growing towards something. And just like lead by example. Obviously don't do anything. No, don't tell your team to do something that you are not willing to do. So if you're not willing to do live videos, then don't be sitting there saying you guys got to go live all the time. Like, you got to do stuff that makes you uncomfortable. So just leading from the front, leading by example, and just love up on your team. Really get to know them and build a relationship with them. I think that was a few of my aha moments. And we've just got our hands on something so huge. I know that they're really stepping it up in the international game. Like, it's crazy. Once Mexico hits, and then Korea is going to boom. But they're just all about making our business easier. I know that corporate are working super hard behind the scenes. I'm really excited about. There's going to be like funnel, like targeting messages. Just really making our job as distributors so much easier, especially like bringing on new distributors. There's going to be like a training app or something like that. So they're just ahead of the game. I'm just super excited for what's to come.
I had a little bit of insight today too. I was listening to some separate training, and they said utilize the training that your company gives you, because if people think that they have to spend so much time one-on-one training people, and they have to spend so much time one-on-one when they first begin, and people that haven't earned your time, they'll think, oh, well, I don't have that kind of time, so I can only bring one or two people into the business because I don't have time to coach them like they're coaching me. So I'm going to start changing the way that I coach, and I'm going to say, you're going to go to Training Academy, you're going to watch the Training Academy videos, because he said, one of the biggest problems with leaders is Mark said, they don't dream big enough. That's one of the biggest downfalls of leaders, is they don't dream big enough. So he's like, why are you thinking about the 10 people you're going to bring in this month when you could be bringing in 5,000? And it has to be duplicatable. It has to be duplicatable. So when you just send them to the Training Academy and get them to go through the videos and come to you with questions, it's a better way of training than making them feel like they have to do everything. And you know what? Again, we're not their boss. We can't push this kind of stuff on them. But a couple of my aha moments is to really know where you're going and talk about it 24/7. People follow people who know where they're going. So you need to know what your goal is, and you need to know where you're going. It doesn't have to be on anybody else's time but your own. You don't have to put pressure on yourself. Don't compare yourself to other people. But it's really important to write down your goals and know where you're going. When you make your team's dreams your dreams, it starts facilitating a bigger team mentality, and you're going to get more out of your team. Constantly positive affirmations, constantly recognizing them, constantly over and over and over again, you get more bees with honey. One of the things that kind of came to mind, it was another training that I was listening to, in that, we we sit there and we're like, oh, they're not working. They're not working. Stop complaining about your team, because there's so many people out there that don't have a team, and start loving up on the people that have an auto ship, because that's your volume. Like anybody that has an auto ship and is even just trying a little bit, that's still volume that goes towards your business. And when you make them feel like they don't belong because they're not doing enough, they're going to quit. They're going to quit faster than you can save it. So make sure that you are feeding them with positivity and positive affirmations, and then it's never coming, give them 2 compliments before you give them a constructive criticism. And then what was the other thing? So this was one of the things that I really loved that Cami said. She breaks down her day in thirds. A third of the time personal development, a third of the time developing new business and developing new people, so sending messages and developing new leadership, and a third of the time investing in people who have earned your time and are with you and are loyal. So that was really kind of an eye-opener for me. Like Karen said, we're going into new countries. Yes, Korea, but we're talking about Japan and China. And like, you guys, we're not stopping until we wrap the map. And we are in the beginning of it all. Like, it's extremely exciting. So I had a little bit of a different experience with Mark and Cindy, because I got to go to the leadership dinner and sit with them. And it just so happened that at my table, thank God, there was just a table full of French people that couldn't really speak English. So Mark and Cindy had no choice but to talk to me. It was amazing. And so we just started talking. And, what you've realized is that Mark has had a vision forever. He didn't realize that people are not like him, and that they don't just keep dreaming bigger and bigger and bigger. The things that they have for other people. The ranch, the island, he's like, we don't have these things for other people to enjoy. He's like, well, they're thinking actually about buying a pro sports team right now, because they're like, how cool would that we have a box and they're wearing green and black, and like, they do it for their team and they do it for the culture. But what I've learned about them is how humble they are, and that there is such a huge vision for this. Like Karen was talking about the funnel sites, and she was talking about the new app that we're going to have. They're cleaning up our website, so it's very clean. Those funnel sites, like the Start Keto Today, are going to be able to tailor what your customer is seeing or your potential customer is seeing. You're also going to be able to post them on social media, and they're going to have clickbait just like Amazon. So when you go to Amazon and it says, buy this bathing suit, also bought with this, sunglasses and a bathing suit cover, flip-flops. So they're going to have that. When you buy wraps, also bought with this, defining gel or fat fighters, or you know what I mean? So they're going to pair it so that it's very easy for people. They're building it in that people are going to get notifications on sales. They're going to get emails so say you bought wraps last time and defining gel is a BOGO, you're going to get a text message. So they're going to do all of that for us, making our job so much easier. So if we can use the tools and get people to events, this is what is going to build our business hugely. So Karen, do you want to talk? We wanted to talk a little bit about promotions, okay, you guys? Because a lot of you guys have either promoted recently, you're promoting now, or you're coming up to a promotion. And promotions are not easy. Ruby, okay, you can handle it. Emerald gets a little bit crazier. But when you start hitting the diamond leadership promotions, shit gets real. Okay, I'm saying that because you guys that have been there, how crazy it is. And Kieran and I want to talk to you a little bit about what you should do during promotion months to make sure that you have a successful promotion, that everyone feels really good about it, because it can be very stressful. You can be full of anxiety. People's personalities change. How they handle situations change when it comes down to the wire. People start to panic. There's a lot of energy at the end of the month that is anxiety-ridden stress. And we want to give you the tools throughout the month that you can use to set yourself up so you don't feel as crazy at the end of the month on those last 2 days.
Awesome. So my biggest tip for promotion months is, obviously know your chart inside and out on day 1. Don't start on the 9th or the 10th, because that's just too far gone. You're not going to make it unless a miracle happens. But really connect with your team. It's all about communication, being very upfront and honest, and having these phone calls or Zooms with your team, and start with your executives. right? And work your way up. Executives, rubies, emeralds, diamonds, double diamonds, whatever you need, and empower them to take on, this is their promotion, okay? So, you know, do your charts together, maybe add up your BV together and get them to repeat it back to you so that they really do understand it, because I know a lot of people get really confused on that. But, you know, doing incentives from day one, and updating your chart every single day so that when you're enrolling customers, you know where your team is going to be placing them. So we're not wasting that BV. For example, if you've got a box at 380 and you enroll a triple threat, obviously you're not going to move the triple threat there, right? Because that's just wasted BV. You'd probably move like a hair, skin, and nails or something that's low BV. That's kind of my tips. And do you want to touch on buying volume?
Yeah, but I also, like, as Karen's saying, and look, this is going to be really uncomfortable for you guys that are yellow, but I'm going to tell you anyways, or blue. And I'm going to tell you anyways, because it's really important. You have to have a real conversation with people. You have to say to your executives, okay, you are 350 BV away, you're 150 here and 200 here. This month, we're going to work really hard and we're going to get you to executive. Isn't that cool? You were paid this month, this as a distributor last month. Next month, you're going to double it. And this is what you have to do to get there, okay? That's what you're responsible for. And make it very clear and just say, you know, you might not hit that volume. The odds of people, executive and Ruby maybe, but like executive, okay, you can get 400 in each box and not have to pay to promote. The odds of you having 400 in every single box to promote is very slim to none, unless you want to do this slowly, which is no problem. Please don't ever let us make you feel that you have to do this quickly, because you do not. You can do all of this without paying in, okay? What I never expect people to do is pay more than their paycheck. I also I have a very forward conversation and say, this is how much volume there is. Are you sure you want to do this? Because a lot of the times, whether they're purchasing their own volume or they're getting help from their team members, it's very important that you have that conversation before the last day of the month, or before the 25th, at that matter, when all of the BV comes out and everyone starts to panic because they're farther away than they think that they are. So it's very important that you talk. So that's your executive, okay? Then you're going to talk to your Ruby and you say, hey, Trisha, you're going to work really hard with Abby, and I'm just using this as an example. You're going to work really hard with Abby. She's your executive. She's working hard to get 350 BV. So you need this top box, these two top boxes at 400, because Abby's already going to be there with her executive. So that's what your job is right now. And I want you to touch base with Abby 2 or 3 times a week to make sure that you guys are on the same page. You're motivating each other. You're excited. Okay. So there you're empowering your Ruby leaders. Then you're going to go to your emeralds. Okay, so the emeralds, okay, you've got to get this person under control and going, this Ruby, and you've got to make sure that your top box is at 400, okay? When this happens, and when you know that you're going into a bigger promotion like this, anything Ruby and above, you need to have that conversation with your emerald. Hey, because we're always helping people in this business. If you do not find joy in helping others succeed, you will not last in this business. It cannot be all about you. So if you are going emerald and you've got your 2 rubies that are working, you're probably helping them build volume. Know that maybe you've got people on the top line are working, maybe you don't. But you need to know how much money you're willing to spend, or how much money you can afford to spend, okay? You need to be honest with the people on your team. If you're promoting with an upline, you need to talk to your team below and say, hey, you know what, this Ruby, you know, if you're really close and you're maybe 80 BV away, are you willing to put in a $120 order? Are you willing to do that to get your Ruby? And I'm going to tell you what that means. It means you're going to go from executive pay at $271 on average to Ruby pay at $500 or $600 or whatever dollars in that, you know, and you have to explain that to them. Okay, because they're not going to understand why they have to put out more money to promote unless you explain that when you put out this $120, you're going to make $250 more. So not only are you going to get that in product for free that you're going to make if you didn't promote, but you're going to get an extra $100. Okay, so it's very important that you lay that out and that you know on your team, if you're promoting with downlines and you're promoting to diamond, double diamond, you know who on your team can afford to do that, what they can afford to pay, what they're willing to pay. Because you know what? I have no right to decide who else can pay into their promotion or into my promotion. If I am promoting, sorry, Trisha, I keep looking at you because you're in my top right corner. But if I'm promoting with Trisha and she's 1,000 BV away and she can only spend, 200 BV, she can only afford to spend 300 BV. I have to know that, because guess what? I'm not going to call Trisha on the last day of the month after she spent her 200 BV or $300 and say, hey, Trisha, you're still another 100 BV or 200 BV short. You got to do this. I'm not going to do that. If it's my promotion and I want it, I'm going to pay for that, because I'm going to take responsibility for my promotion and I'm not going to put that on other people. It can be hard. Sometimes with big bonuses, we promote sooner than we should. Karen and I want to talk to you a little bit about that, and I want to be really honest with you guys, because there have been a couple of promotions that we've had that have not made us feel very good. That we, maybe we've purchased too much volume. Maybe we knew that somebody didn't have a strong emerald or diamond going into it. We knew that they weren't going to be able to maintain, but we went forward anyways because there was a big bonus. And those promotions, they don't feel good. They don't feel like celebrating. They don't, it's very, very stressful. But you have to, when you are in that situation, you have to be having the conversation with your team, what they're willing to do and what they're willing to do after that promotion. Because, Karen and I will both tell you that we have spent money maintaining on promotions that we never should have gone for in the first place. Partly for me, I'll be honest, at the beginning it was learning. I was wrong. I let my ego and my goals get in the way because I was so focused on what I wanted and I wasn't seeing the big picture with my team. But that is something that I've learned from. That's something that each one of you are going to go through at some point in time, and you're going to remember this Zoom and you're going to be like, oh, that feels bad. Now I know. And you're going to come to me and you're going to come to Karen and we're going to talk about it, because it happens. It happens inadvertently. It happens when you least expect it, and it just happens. And that's something that people don't tell you about and they don't talk to you about, but I think that it's really important that you know that, just so that you're aware. Just so that you're aware at the end of the month when things get crazy and you're like, it's way more important to love on your team and listen than it is to tell them what to do.
Yeah, awesome. I think my promotion was when I was going double diamond. I was up for a $30,000 US bonus, which was 40 something thousand Canadian. So I think I had to spend $2,000. My double diamond wasn't solid, like it was good, but like I always recommend, if you're going in for a big promotion like that, you gotta have the volume behind you and you gotta have solid leaders in place. Blaine was my emerald, Krista was my diamond. She was good. It was more so Blaine's emerald that I was also working, but his rubies just weren't stable enough. They weren't like leaders and consistently. So obviously I spent the money because I didn't want to leave a $40,000 Canadian bonus on the line. So that's why I did make the decision that I was going to purchase that. And I was totally fine with that. And I don't regret it, but I had to pay for at least 3 or 4 months because I just did not have the strength in his emerald, and I could not maintain through, because promoting to double diamond, I think it's 15,600 through boxes to promote, but to maintain through volume is 25,000. So that's quite a huge jump, you guys. And when I just promoted just over the line, so like maybe 15,700, I didn't have an emerald working to come up with that volume to push me over the line for 25,000 BV. So each month, if I wanted to maintain, I was having to purchase Blaine's emerald there for a little bit. And then obviously I was rebuilding, but there was such a 10,000 GV gap. So that's my point, kind of, go in strong and have your solid leaders that can maintain their ranks, because there's nothing worse than going in and then losing it right away. It just doesn't feel good. It's happened to me before with my triple. My triple was awesome, pretty strong. My volume was huge. And then the next month it plummeted. I think it was 15,000, wasn't it?
It happened to both of us.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was what happened. But Yeah, just keep that in mind. Obviously, when there's big bonuses on the table like that, that's a completely different story, and you can talk to your upline about it and strategize and think, is it worth spending the money? I know there's a couple of people up for $5,000 bonuses right now with the Emerald, which works out to be probably 8,000 Canadian. So if you have to spend $1,000 to make an $8,000 bonus, yeah, I would do it.
Probably
I think it makes
worth it.
totally sense, right? But as long as you know that it's going to be a solid sell. Oh my God, that's awesome. You're going to be able to maintain it in the next couple of months. Like, you don't want to be paying out $1,000 every month for 5 months, because then
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But it is worth working the math out, and like there are months, like when I think the same thing for triple, there was a $50,000 bonus, and like I think I paid out $3,000, but it was worth it. It's worth it for that pay jump. It was worth it for the whatever. That was a business decision that I made because I had the money and because I have a business brain. Not a lot of people are comfortable spending that kind of money, and I would never push that on anybody else. Never, ever, ever, because I am different, so it's fine. The other thing that is really important, and that some of you on this Zoom have experienced, it's not done until it's done. Okay. You're going to have people promise you the moon. You're going to say, I got this ruby. I got this box. I will buy it. I will this, I will that, I will everything. They will promise you everything. And when push comes to shove on the last day of the month, guess who's not answering their phone?
MIA. Happened to me on my double diamond.
Yep. So you need to know when you are promoting that you have to have the volume to be able to buy the BV. If you've decided this, buy the BV yourself and have the moves. So you can have, if it's just you only have 1,000 BV that you can move in 5 moves. So you have to make sure that you have the moves as well, because what if you've got 6 spots, right? You have to, if you've got a husband in the business, now you've got 10 moves and 2,000 BV. And the only reason we're talking about this is because as you move up, like as you promote higher and higher and higher, I don't know anybody that is promoted to double diamond or higher without paying something. It doesn't have to be a lot, but something, because it's so difficult to get all of your 400 boxes in the same place at the same time. So that's why you need to know, because on the last day at the 9th hour, if you do not have the moves or the volume, you may be out of luck. You may not have an upline that can come in and rescue you because they have their own moves and they have their own plan. You may not, it is not worth the risk. So you must have a plan. And that's why knowing your chart is so, so, so important, to know where you're putting all your volume and know how far away you are at all times. And then, okay, the last thing I want to go over is, so Karen and I and a couple of the other leaders have been doing some training online, a different training, and just to get different perspectives for you guys, because we seem to hear the same thing over and over and over in our business from a whole bunch of different people. So we decided that we were going to just look to a couple of the experts in this industry. Both Karen and I love Tony Robbins, and Karen's seen him, and I'm going to see him in August, so I can't wait to bring back that. But this is something else that we've been doing. So he came up, did a video today, and he talks about the 8 success traits of top earners in the company. Okay, now you may not possess all of these traits, but if this is something, and hey, if you're on this Zoom and you just, and I don't mean just, and you want to be a double diamond, and that's where you want your income level to be at $6,000 a month, that is amazing. If you want to be a top income earner and you want to hustle, listen to what I'm saying. Everybody else, you can listen, but just kind of file it in the back. It's there. You're like, oh, that makes sense. But if you're one of those people that want to climb to the top and want, you want to be the person that people said, I'm here because of you. I'm stayed because of you. I continued because of you. If you have that drive and that desire in you to help other people, these are the 8 success traits of top earners in all different companies, but in this industry. Okay. Number 1, they didn't know everything. They didn't know everything about their product. They didn't know everything about their compensation plan, and they didn't know everything about their company, but they did know about people. They learned a lot about people. They did a lot of personal development on how to deal with people, how to bond with people, create relationships, how to lead them. That's what they did. Number 2, they had obstacles. They didn't just get there. They didn't just magically fly there because they were lucky and had a massive network of 1 million people. They had massive obstacles, and they kept going, and they never, ever, ever threw in the towel. They climbed through barbed wire. They had friends betray them. They had people leave. Their company maybe closed, but they kept going in this industry, and they never stopped. Number 3, they focused on where they wanted to go, not where they were. So they never thought, oh, I'm still here. Why am I still here? They always focused on where they wanted to go. They never, ever, ever complained about their team. They bragged about their people. They bragged about their people. They said how great their leadership was. They never put people down. They never said, oh God, this leg is just dry. They never did that. They always rose people up. You have to remember that not one of those people, that's still number 3. Just not one of any of those people had it easy. None of them did. So know that when you're going through stuff, that's totally normal. Number 4, they lost leaders. Some of them lost their top leaders after years and years and years. They had best friends walk away. That doesn't matter. They had legs quit. But guess what? They got back on the horse and they kept building and they kept going. And they just, sometimes I think when people see us, there's a few of us that sign a lot of people. I would say steps to success and more is a lot of people. They see that and they think, oh, they're so lucky. They're so good at this. Maybe I'm not good at this. We just have more people quit. Let's be honest. When you enroll more people, you have more people quit. That's the deal, okay? Your odds are higher of growing faster, your team faster, but we just have more people quit. Number 5, this was a really interesting one to me. For me, it doesn't, at the moment, it doesn't pertain to me, but it was interesting. Sometimes they don't agree with the company owners. You have to be aware of your ego and your emotions. They may implement a new policy or procedure. They may put a product out that you don't like. They may do something, a promotion that you're not happy with. A lot of the times when companies do that, they will correct it down the road or they will make it better. But these people didn't all the time agree with what their company was doing, but they stuck it out. Because it's so much more productive to have one 10-year plan than 10 one-year plans. You're going to make way more money in the long haul if you stick with one 10-year plan. Number 6, they're constantly bombarded with opportunities. Okay, if you see anybody in our company that is in the top 10, top 20, they're constantly being bombarded with other people offering them opportunities. You could make $50,000 a month here. You can do this. You can do that. They have said no to thousands of people to get to where they are. And they will continue to say no to thousands of people because that's just something crazy that happens in this industry, that when you're successful, they'll say, I have the best offer for you. This is ground floor. This is the best business. Nobody's got anything like this. I want you in the trenches with us and you're going to have ownership. The people that have made the most money, 7-figure income earners, so they're making over $1 million a year, they never said yes. They kept focused, they kept their blinders on, and they kept going. Number 7, they knew it was up to them. They didn't wait on their company. They didn't wait on products. They didn't wait till they got business cards. They didn't wait on their kit. They knew that what they were going to do was up to them, not up to their team, not up to their leadership, not up to anybody else but themselves. So they weren't the people that was like, as soon as my kit comes, as soon as my business cards come, as soon as I get my 90-day challenge results. They're not those people. The people that succeed are the people that know that it's totally up to them. They are trailblazers when things go wrong. Maybe, we don't have something that you think that we should have. Amazon Delivery Prime. This is something that we talked about on a VIP Zoom. You know what? We don't have it, so we're going to keep talking about it until we get something that's better. And you have to be a trailblazer and you have to be somebody that has confidence to make it in this business, which brings me to number 8. And this one is a hard one to swallow for some people, but I love it because he's right. And I've had my moments where I have felt this way, but number 8 is they've never, ever felt sorry for themselves. They have been dead broke. They've gone through marriage problems. They've gone through deaths in the family. They have lost team members. They have lost legs. They have had tragedy. They have had hard times, and they never feel sorry for themselves. And if you start to feel that way, you need to take that energy and funnel it into action. And if you can do that, if you can make that switch, you will build a multi-million-dollar empire. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to go over with you guys today. Hope that was decent. Karen, do you have anything else that you want to add about the retreat, or about, success tips or promotions or anything like that?
I just remember Mark was like, we're not saying we're the perfect company. There's going to be shipping issues. Like, I've been dealing with this for a week. This lady, like, there's always going to be something, but you just got to roll with it. You're going to have people quit. Get used to it. And then he said, like, what's your alternative? That really sunk home with me. Like, you can sit there and complain, but what did he say again, Christina, about going back to your 9 to 5? I can't remember exactly what he said.
I don't
remember.
I didn't write it down.
Anyway.
The thing that stuck with me is failure is only final when you stop trying. So you'll get to a point that you're frustrated, you have anxiety, you're stressed out, and you'll only fail at this if you don't take time for yourself to recoup, regenerate, and be like, okay, now what do I have to do next? Because a lot of people will quit. There will be people on this Zoom right now that will not be here in 2 years. And I hate to say that, but it's so true. And it's really hard because we see the big picture, and we want you to be there with us. We want you to meet Mark and Cindy. We want you to see where our company is going internationally. We want you to see that our international office has gone from 5 people 4 years ago to 50. And that they've taken over another floor of where they are, and that soon we'll have international office the size of the one that we have in Florida. There are huge advantages to being a part of a company right now, and people can tell you whatever they want. They can show, put shiny stuff in front of you and say, this is so much better, but we have it so good. And I'm so grateful for who we work for.
Yeah, especially having Afia with us in Canada. Like, she's coming to Edmonton, she's flying out to Edmonton on Friday to be with Nana and I, just to do a meeting. Like, it's just crazy, absolutely crazy.
So yeah, guys, do you guys have any questions? If you have questions, please put them in the chat right now. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to do that. Okay, I'm going to repeat the points of the 5 people that you surround yourself the most with, okay, just really quickly, because I don't know if you guys got them. Do they make more money than you? Are they a glass half full or half empty kind of person? Do they inspire you or exhaust you? If they are neutral and they don't do either, that's a minus. Do they believe in you wholeheartedly and push you for your goals and encourage you to hit them? And are they truth talkers? Will they call you on your stuff, or do they constantly praise you and it's kind of BS? Because we know that. We know, Cammie's day. Okay, yes. Cammie's, the way that she breaks down her day, her work day, is a third personal development, a third of the time developing new business, so sending messages, getting new enrollments, and developing new people, so spending time with your newbies. And a third of the time investing in people who are with you already and who are loyal, people that have showed you their intention with their business and who want this as much as you do. You spend time investing in them, people that deserve your time. Everybody else is on the outside. Did you guys see that Zoom with Afia that had you in the middle, and then, your newbies and your rock stars, whoever else, and then the people that are just chatter? Go by that.
What else and Cammie also said, when you're with your team, be with your team. So say if you're at an event with them, be present, get off your phone, turn off your phone, and just pour into them and connect with them. Instead of being like, oh, okay, yep, I gotta take this call and just not be connecting. I thought that was something that I took away from Cami as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Sarah, the number 7 of the successful people is they knew it was up to them. They didn't wait. They knew everything was up to them. It wasn't their team. It wasn't their upline. It wasn't, their company. And what was, the next best thing. They knew that getting to the top was up to them, and they did everything they did because they knew that.
The books are High Performance Habits by, what's his name? Brendan. Where is it?
I'm just listening to it right now by Brendan Bouchard.
I wrote them all down. Stay with me.
You're looking for the...
I can just post it. And then there's John Maxwell. Everyone communicates, few connect. Sun Stand Still is the other one. Oh, and the Anatomy of Winning.
Yeah, I want to pick up that one actually after I'm finished High Habits. Okay. I think we're good. I don't want to keep you guys for any longer. Again, thank you so much for coming. I'm so excited for you guys. Some of you that have bonuses on the line right now and are hustling for those, please let Karen and I know. We would like to do a leadership Zoom like this once a month. I think it's really good that we get together as leaders and maybe work on things that you guys need as support, or issues that you're having consistently with your team that maybe we can work through together. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great night or a great day, Belinda. And we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, girls. Bye.
Bye.